Hi! I probably shouldn't yell. My family's sleeping. Hello! Welcome back to another episode of HBO Max. I'm Rose Makenna. Joining me, as always, is Brandon. Hi, Brandon. How are you today?
Makenna, the World Cup started today.
Yeah, it's happening. It's happening. Things are
The cup is world.
Let them play
Yes.
soccer. Yes.
And drink beer.
Yes.
Let them drink beer.
Let them drink the
Just
beer.
a little beer. Just a little bit of beer.
A tiny one.
The doctor says you can have one beer as a treat.
As a treat, yeah.
Just a little treat.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, we're all wearing football jerseys today because we're celebrating the World Cup.
Yay!
And two of us are wearing Mexico jerseys because go Mexico.
Go Mexico. Yes. I don't have.
And as Makenna says, soccer's coming home.
Soccer's coming home.
Soccer is coming home.
Soccer's coming home.
All the way. Going all the way.
All the way. It's coming home. And no, we'll still be the laughing stock of the soccer world. But like, hear me out though. Hear me out. We'll have the trophy though. And we'll have it for 4 years.
No, so, see, even if we are the laughing stock of the soccer world, Makenna, if we win the World Cup, everybody else has to spend 4 years feeling terrible about themselves. Yeah. And that's way better. It's actually better if we continue to be the laughing stock of the soccer world so that eventually we win the World Cup and everybody just hates it.
Yes.
Ronaldo and MLS win after that. You know what I mean? It's only a matter of time.
It seems very soon.
Yeah.
If he were to go to a club, which club would he go to? To an MLS.
Ooh.
I've heard rumors of Inter Miami throughout the last 6
That's where Messi would go.
So a couple different people have like affiliations with that club, and apparently they have like a decent amount of money to throw around. So could happen.
They need to throw it around somewhere. Is that the club with the pink jerseys?
Yes.
Or is that? Yeah, I like those jerseys. Those are nice. Those are nice kits.
Then like LAFC is always an option.
Oh. No, you're close though. I feel like Galaxy would be able to afford them.
The Galaxy.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
They had David Beckham.
And Zlatan.
Yes.
They did get the Zlatan.
They did. And their Galaxy. Space is great. Shout out to Space.
Shout out Space.
Shout out Space.
Yeah, for real.
It's got to be a team that doesn't have like a huge amount of identity in their strikers or whatever, because Ronaldo is not going to have any of that. Doesn't like that.
So like Cristian, I'll introduce you in a second, but
I forgot about that.
Like, how soon we go back from the break? Well, that's not a break, but like we go back from the cup. The cup, as we're calling it. Everyone's calling it that.
We're calling it the cup.
The cup. Does Ronaldo get transferred out during the transfer window in January? How soon does he get booted after his remarks right before the World Cup? Does he get transferred right away?
It's so hard to tell because none of the clubs that want him can afford him, and none of the clubs that can afford him want him.
I don't think the Glazers are too happy though. I think that if they're gonna want him out, they're gonna get him out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We might end up with like a baseball situation where the Glazers end up paying like half of his salary to send him off somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because it is not going well over there.
No. Yeah.
What an insane time for football right now.
This is crazy.
A lot of stuff going on.
So many things are happening. And you know what else is happening? HBO Max episode. Joining us is Cristian. Welcome. How are you?
Buongiorno. I'm doing so good. I'm so excited to drink beer and keep watching this World Cup. I'm sorry. I'm really excited about it.
Whoa. Oh no,
Also, forget FIFA. Screw them. Terrible company.
Yes.
Facts. No FIFA. I was gonna ask a question. Hold on. But all my mind is saying fuck FIFA. Hold on. Wait. No, I lost my train of thought. Never mind. It was in that same vein. But yes. I remembered it. Hold on. I'm excited for this World Cup because I actually know players and what's going on. 2018, I don't have the chart on me, but I did follow some of it, but I didn't know anybody. And now it's so exciting. I know people. I'm impressing my family. Well, not really, but like deep down, I know I'm impressing them. Because no one else watches soccer in my family, in terms of like my parents and my sisters. So like, deep down,
It's also like a shame. Like in 2018, we had to pick like other teams to root for.
Yeah.
Like I spent most of the time like rooting for Mexico and Ireland, and neither of them made it very far, and so I just kind of gave up.
Listen, as a Mexican, watching the 2018 World Cup was my revenge story for 2014, getting knocked out of by Germany from the infamous Nora Penal, and in 2018, Chucky Lozano scoring against Germany and crying on the pitch as a young lad. Like that brought tears to my eyes, and that was on was that Father's Day? That couldn't have been. When is Father's Day? When was the World Cup? I remember calling my dad after that and being like, "Yo, this was revenge."
Aw. Yeah, I remember I watched France winning. That's all I've got.
Fantastic.
This is all she wrote for my history. Oh, no. Let me take you back to 2010. I remember watching a show, not an episode, a match in a pizza place in Delaware with my dad. That's all I've got. I don't know who was playing. I apparently can't even remember the year, but I know I watched the soccer.
An episode of The Cup.
An episode of The Cup, yes.
Yep, The Cup.
The Cup. So excited. We got 4 episodes tomorrow. This is going to be great.
Exciting.
Yeah. This is, oh my gosh. It's other than the 5 a.m. Well, you guys are both on the West Coast, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yes.
So the U.S. play at 11 o'clock
11.
here.
See,
I'll be at work, which will kind of suck, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah. We got.
I'm working from home, so I don't know how much I'll get done.
We got pretty decent times over here. Other than like I think the 5 a.m. Or in the 8 a.m. I'm not gonna wake up for those.
Yeah, you're gonna know what the Premier League experience is here on the West Coast.
Yeah.
Dude, I've been up for those 4 a.m. games. It's different.
Yeah, I've gotten up for a couple of them. I'll fall asleep somewhere around the middle, maybe take a little bit of a nap.
The halftime commercials will wake me up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, our times are all right. East Coast, Best Coast. That's what they say.
It rhymes too.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Just look at it written down, and it does. Well, sort of. It does. It's okay. Don't say it out loud. So in this, we watched Dazed and Confused.
What a lead-in.
What a lead-in. This is... Get hyped. I'm gonna go some facts and figures. This movie, released September 24th, 1993. Budget is $6.9 million. Box office, $8 million. Not great. Not great box office. But you know what? It made, in the year of our Lord 2003, it was 3rd on Entertainment Weekly's 50 Best High School Movies and 10th on Entertainment Weekly's Funniest Movies of the past 25 years. So, like, it got its accolades, yes.
Thank you, Makenna. I have an asterisk for the budget one, which I found out by watching the documentary Making of Dazed.
Ooh.
That Universal did not want to market this movie, and so they held it as a limited release, as if it were an independent movie. Hence, it's low, not budget. I'm sorry, it's low, whatever income, whatever. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Revenue.
It didn't get a full release. It wasn't available in like every theater and stuff. And then it actually did. It had quite a bit of a second life on home video and cult classic status. Made a lot of money on like the VHS DVD market.
Oh, this would be a fun VHS movie.
Oh yeah. I miss smelling my VHS that I used to own. You know what I mean? There's a certain smell that they had. The Nickelodeon ones in particular.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I miss opening them. Like not the ones that like slide out, but like the plastic. Oh, I loved that sound.
Like a big chunky Disney VHS.
Yes. Oh, and then just That's
You
good stuff right there.
Oh, yeah.
It's the original ASMR for me.
Yes. 1/6 of the budget was spent on acquiring rights to the songs to them, which that's fair. That's fair.
Banger soundtrack.
So good.
Absolutely.
It was so good. Oh my god, you got everything. You had Aerosmith, ZZ Top, Kiss. It was Slow Ride.
Perfect.
Great.
Perfect.
One fun thing in the Criterion edition, because it's Criterion month, is in the booklet at the beginning here, you get a nice little. It breaks up every single scene and what songs play in the scenes.
Yeah.
I don't.
It's man, yeah.
By the way, you picking up this 4K next year?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably will.
Man.
I'll probably wait till the 50% off sale to pick it up. But yeah, I'm probably gonna have to. And then I'll give my little brother this because he also loves this movie.
This is good. The beer drunk on set, real beer. Except for the miners. The miners did not drink real beer. But anybody who was of age drank real beer.
Epic.
Unlike the people in Qatar. The wooden paddles. I'm sorry. The wooden paddles were custom designed by the actors. And Gene Simmons of Kiss fame bought the Kiss statues. And then they sold at auction in 2000 for $6,000.
Dang.
That's pretty low. Like that's
That's what I thought too. Yeah. Oh no, I'm gonna mispronounce names. Mila.
Yes, Jovovich.
Yes.
Wait, did I mispronounce it?
I don't know.
I think it's. I mean, I've heard Djokovic or Jokovic. I don't know. Djokovic. I don't know.
Mila. And
Mila Djokovic.
Mila.
Jokovic. I think she says Djokovic. I think I'm thinking of the basketball player when I'm pronouncing it.
Sorry, Mila.
Shout out to Mila. Mila and Shawn Andrews eloped in Vegas during filming, but Mila was 16 at the time, so her mother had it annulled, and I think Shawn Andrews was 21, 22, something like that. So yeah, there's your fun. Your fun facts and figures.
That's not a very fun fact. That last one.
No, it wasn't. But I needed another one. There was.
Shawn Andrews.
I gave you some more fun facts.
Oh yes.
Yeah. You looking up Shawn Andrews?
I am. I think he's the guy who plays her boyfriend in this movie. The guy who throws the party.
Oh.
No. I thought Shawn Andrews was the Latino. No, you're right. I'm sorry. Yes.
Pickford.
Yeah.
Pickford.
I only remember that because it's England's goalkeeper. It's the only visual I knew it.
Good job, Mac. Good job.
It all comes back to soccer at this point. It's the soccer is round, or the ball is round.
Oh.
Full circle.
Yes.
Geometry. This is a great movie. Okay.
Well,
yes.
Can I give you those fun facts?
Oh yes, I'm so sorry. Go on.
Give us some fun facts.
I'm so sorry. I got excited.
So, if you're into the other stoner comedy of this era, Fast Times, then the casting director of Dazed and Confused, Dan Phillips, actually casted this as well. Found out about Matthew McConaughey while in a bar, while McConaughey was a film student. He was a junior, and they met and just talked for hours about sports, not even movie related. And then later was like, hey, McConaughey would actually be perfect as the role of Wooderson. And that's how that came about.
He's so good.
And
he was just a dude who was like hanging around Austin, which is where they filmed the movie. And man, he's so fucking good in this movie.
Is this where All Right came from?
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
get
it is.
out!
Absolutely.
Oh,
which is not written that way in the script.
Oh, really?
That was the very first scene that McConaughey shot when they started filming this movie. and like he came into it and just like pulled through it really hot on the set and just ripped. All right.
That's iconic, dude.
It's so good.
Changed me.
It was a Jeopardy clue. That's how.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last fun fact:
yes.
Good old Ricky Linklater made mixtapes for each of the actors in this movie because he wanted to give them each like a taste of what the 70s was like and what their character would be listening to. Little mixtapes. That's so cool.
The character stuff in this movie is so deep. Like they put out this little book that was a companion piece to this movie that was like a yearbook that like described all the characters and stuff. And some of that is repurposed for the Criterion book and stuff. Let me pull it up here. See like this. Like you get all the characters and like just there's so many details about all the characters, about like what music they like, what TV shows they're watching and stuff. It's a surprisingly well thought out movie for what it is.
Yeah.
I realized I accidentally missed a fun fact. 2004, 3 of Linklater's former classmates filed a defamation lawsuit against him. Their last names: Wooderson, Slater, and Floyd.
And
then it was dismissed because of the statute of limitations ran out. But that was funny. It's, defamation. It happens.
I'm gonna write a movie whose main character name is Ruckus.
Go for it.
Yeah.
You have total free reign over whatever you want to do with that name, my friend.
Did I ever tell you that the friend of the show, sort of Robbie, my friend from high school, who he texts me, by the way, shout out to Robbie, he texts me after every episode to give me the time between the start of the episode and when we got into facts and figures. But I had to explain to him the Jose Ruckus, Brandon Lopez difference. And I was like, okay, so like, and I had to explain the wild aces and like all of this. I was like, I'd explain your lore to him.
There's all this is like a this is like a spin-off show of like a show that had a bunch of lore in it. And so like you don't need to know all the lore to enjoy this show, but it's like it enriches it quite a bit.
Yes, enriches.
Okay, so Mac, this is a movie. I know this is one of Christian's favorite movies. That's why I asked him to come on to talk about this. This is one of my favorite movies. I've got a lot to say about this movie when we get down later. Mac, this is your first time watching Dazed and Confused. What'd you think?
This was great. This was so much fun. My parents grew up in the 70s. I mean, they were like high school students, but it was just like, oh, this is like, I feel like I'm like hanging out with like my older, like my parents' cousins, like smoking and alcohol and hazing and all that fun stuff.
This is like the ultimate hangout movie.
Yeah.
It's just vibes.
I loved that like nothing bad happened. Like I was half expecting like, oh, someone's gonna die or someone's gonna get arrested or what have you. But no, nothing bad happened, and that was fantastic. Like it ended, I was like, wow, I'm actually really happy at the end of this.
I mean, basically nothing happens. There is not like a plot to this movie. There's like a couple of things that could be plots to whole other movies, but they're just like things that happen in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
The closest thing to a plot is like Pink's like emotional arc is like, am I going to play football this year? At the end of it, it's still like, I don't know, but at least I think I have a closer idea to what my priorities are for this summer. And like, that's it, you know? Mm-hmm. And sometimes that's all you need.
Yeah. But like, there's not even like, there's not like a thing that happens to Pink that gets him to like decide on that. It's he starts off the movie one way and finishes the movie in the exact same way. Like they show him the paper and he's like, this is bullshit. I don't like this. And at the end of the movie, he's like, you know what? This is bullshit and I don't like this.
dear football players, no more Zaza. Okay.
So like, does this movie take place over one day, or is it multiple days?
It's just about 24 hours.
That's sweet. That's a good 24 hours. That Kramer kid, he lived it up in those 24 hours. Like, I'm trying to like put myself, like, just finished 8th grade, and he's hanging out with seniors. Like, he's cooler than
Could be me.
I know, I'm the same way. Like,
Yeah.
I was a band kid, like, obsessed with Harry Potter, and just like,
Yeah.
nah, I'm good. So do that. I strive to be like Kramer when I grow up. I want to be cool.
Like, okay, if I can get a little seminal off the bat for a second, is so I watched this movie like in the same era as like kind of Mitch Kramer. Just I think I was a little bit older. Just trying to find myself who I was in high school, and like I mean who I am as a person. And for whatever reason, is like, I mean, it's in my Letterboxd top 4 for a reason, and it's because of watching this movie gave me a sense of identity with who I wanted to be. And it's not like I'm looking at these dudes in this movie being like, oh, these guys are cool, I want to be cool too. Because actually, I think a lot of these guys are like assholes, right? And like we shouldn't strive to be like them, but we'll get into that conversation. But the thing for me is like, what this movie does is really express individuality and being okay with being yourself and like letting your own interests dictate who you want to be and not worry about other people. Not so much nonconformity, but being yourself. And I don't know, that really spoke to me at a time where like I needed that.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
I got a sort of like similar thing with this movie. This is a movie that my older brother and cousin like found. And they loved it. They are like, my cousins are all football players. My older brother is like, he's basically Slater. Like he is like just stony baloney, you know, just like huge stoner dude. And so they loved the movie. And so they sort of passed it down to like me, my younger cousins and stuff. And we all watched this movie. And this just became like the most quoted movie in our family. Like so like, because this movie is like endlessly quotable. Like the,
Yes.
Hey man, you got a joint on you? No, I don't. Be a lot cooler if you did. Like you cool, man? Like how? Okay.
He was just asking if you get high.
Yeah, we would just quote this movie just over and over again. It's like set the temperature. I probably watched it for the first time when I was like a freshman in high school or maybe a sophomore and stuff. And it was just like, this movie just like that 70s show is one thing. That's a fun show that I grew up on and stuff. But this is like, this really, I was surprised to find out this movie was shot in the 90s because it felt so much like something that came out of the 70s. Like, this was just like a vibe. I love it so much. I've seen this movie like 1,000 times.
Sidebar, I'm sorry. Have you seen Apollo 10.5 by Linklater?
No.
That came out this year. It's a Netflix release, and it's the same thing as like he wants to capture life in the 70s, or I guess no, it'd be the 60s, I guess. But it's him, kind of a memoir piece of him growing up in late 60s era, and watching his parents and like watching like, you know, us trying to go to the moon. And it's a very cool, similar kind of a hangout movie where it's just like, what is it like being a kid in the late 60s, like during the space race? So I would recommend that if you're not as strong as Days for me, but
Linklater's movies. Linklater does a lot of really great stuff. What's interesting was I've talked about this book 1,000 times, but Chuck Klosterman's The 90s came out this year, and I read it, and there's a bit where he talks about Dazed and Confused in that because part of the 90s like there was this massive amount of nostalgia for the 70s. Music that came out in the early 90s was very like responsive to the 70s because everybody had just come out of the 80s and they all hated the 80s, right? And what's interesting that I found out was that Dazed and Confused was originally viewed as like Richard Linklater wanted to make like an anti-nostalgia piece about how the 70s were like this really lazy time where nobody did anything and everybody just sat around and got high all day and stuff. And it was meant to be like a look back at the 70s in sort of like a negative way. And everybody else was like, No, it's awesome. Like, we just wish that we could sit around and get high all day. Like, that sounds way better than what we got going on right now.
That's what I do now.
Yeah, man. Hell yeah.
I determined that a minute 25 is time to Dazed and Confused. It's the first time we see someone smoking pot on screen. And that's what I've never been high, so that's what Dazed and Confused. That's what from what I've learned from pop culture. I don't know. I'll figure it out maybe one day. That's what I determined to be Dazed and Confused. I just wrote about the OST again, that it's stellar, and that this is the second movie in a row that Sweet Emotion has come up in the movie on HBO Max. Because it was in Armageddon.
Right.
Last week?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. It was a weird remix in Armageddon. But, you know.
Which movie did you like it more in? This one or Armageddon?
Probably this one, because there's an actual like Aerosmith plot where they're or not plot, but like they gotta go get the
just
tickets.
At the end of the movie they just start talking about going to see Aerosmith.
Yeah.
Piggy.
No, that was at the beginning.
Oh, did they talk about it at the beginning? I thought they didn't start talking about it until like Wooderson got there.
That was the plan. Go buy the Aerosmith tickets.
Gotta get the Aerosmith tickets.
Speaking of Armageddon and Aerosmith, you guys want to know a secret?
Yeah.
What?
So when I was in high school, I was super into Aerosmith. I mean, like also like a lot of classic rock, like Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, all that, right? Grateful Dead. Super into Aerosmith as well. And I remember being at the park with like my first real girlfriend, and being like, "We should have a song. I'm gonna give us a song." Well, like, you know, and I chose Aerosmith's "Don't Want to Miss a Thing." You know, looking is like the least romantic thing I ever could have done. It's awful.
You were just like, yeah, the song from the romance parts of Armageddon. That's our song.
Wait. So Steven Tyler is the lead singer. Who are the other members in that band?
Joe Perry is the guitar player.
Okay. Is it Joe Perry? Hold on.
Joe Perry did one of the Spider-Man theme songs on the animated series.
That rocks.
I can't think of what the name of the drummer is, but Aerosmith, dope band. My parents' favorite band is Aerosmith. They've seen Aerosmith like over 10 times. Is
James Taylor in Aerosmith?
No, James Taylor is in James Taylor.
Never mind then. Never mind. Forget I even brought it up. Never mind. I thought he was in Aerosmith. So you know the song "You're So Vain" by Carly Simon?
Yes,
it's thought to be about James Taylor, and I looked it up last night because my parents and I were talking about it. It just so happened that it was also underneath a thing about. Oh no, never mind. Mick Jagger's not even. Never mind. I don't know where I pulled Aerosmith from. In terms of everything in that.
No, because like Aerosmith is basically the '70s Rolling Stones.
Okay. I just smushed the two together.
Like he Steven Tyler, the lead singer of Aerosmith, is basically Mick Jagger 2.0.
Okay, cool. Okay.
So you're not that far off.
Well, I mean, yeah, but that is I broke this pen. Hold on. But that's like the sorry, I took it apart and now I can't get it back together. I got it. Yeah, You're So Vain is apparently about James Taylor. Allegedly. Carly Simon didn't say who it's about.
Yeah, you can't sue us, James Taylor.
No, or Carly Simon.
we specify that it was allegedly.
Also, speaking of Armageddon and Ben Affleck, he looks older in this than he did in Armageddon. I didn't even recognize, like, I was going through the cast list while I was watching this. I was like, oh, Ben Affleck's in this movie. And I was like, I have no clue who he is. I can't tell who he is. But, yeah, he looks older in this one than in Armageddon.
Could you imagine this being your first role?
This was his first role?
Not knowing where this is going to go, and then you blow up as an actor?
Yeah, I was actually reading a thing where they were originally they were going to cast Vince Vaughn as O'Banion.
I saw this too.
And then they met Ben Affleck, and they thought Ben Affleck was a lot more likable. And he's like, the thing about like casting like a bad guy is you don't want him to be too unlikable. Like you actually want to cast a likable actor in the role so people don't get tired of the character. And it was like, oh man, Ben Affleck is nailing this role. It's just like the biggest asshole in the movie. Like
even
nobody likes
me off.
O'Banion.
Oh God,
O'Banion.
Yeah. No,
just sounds gross.
Yeah.
And then I always forget that like the payoff to the O'Banion like story is like halfway through the movie. Like he's not in the other like half of the movie. He gets the paint poured on him and then he's just gone.
He must have ruined his seats in his car because he didn't even like get any off. He just hopped in his car and went away. Like that dude stained his seat. That's white paint. That ain't coming out. That's not coming out.
No, he's gonna need a new driver's seat. He's gonna need new floorboards. Yeah, it's gonna be a pain.
Steering wheel. There was stuff on his hands. He never washed it off.
New steering wheel.
Yeah, can you
get a new car?
Yeah, at that point.
Yeah, at that point, yeah.
Can you? How? You can get a new steering wheel, right? Like you just pop it off and
yeah,
absolutely.
Pop a new one on.
Yeah.
Beep beep your.
Put a Wiimote in there.
Ooh yes, motion controls.
Yeah. IRL motion controls.
Yes.
I also forget we don't see like Carl and those guys at that point either. They're gone from the movie.
Yeah, they're gone too. Yeah.
They have a different like best night of their lives where they just like go back to Carl's place and just talk about how they fucked over O'Banion. But when they go to school when they go back to school in like the springtime or summer, like
it's not gonna be good.
Yeah,
they're in trouble.
It's not gonna be good. Because those are the same kids that got the shotgun that was pulled out on him. Like they're lucky if they survive the end of freshman year. Like,
which brings up a great point. Like, there's a scene. Whoever hasn't seen this movie, whatever. There's a scene when this old dude is shooting at the kids, the high schoolers, for breaking their mailbox. Like, it ain't that serious, I don't think. You imagine dying
over a mailbox.
Over mailbox.
Oh my God.
How did they? I was trying to figure out how this dude figured it was them, because like the time.
He must have seen like the car like pull away after they hit the mailbox or something. Like he must have like ran out and saw it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That scene has one of my favorite lines in the movies when they get in the car. He's like, "Whose bowling ball is this?" It's yours, man.
Dude, like you're on to something there. Like I was again in the documentary, Richard Linklater was talking about like how the best lines of this movie were in the margins, and by that he means like it was just like improv or stuff the actors would come up for their characters. Like that is where this movie lives, man.
Yeah, it's just like such a random thing that happens in the movie. They just get in this. Whose bowling ball is this? It's yours, dude.
Shout out to bowling. Man, I want to talk about bowling for a second. Now I'm thinking about bowling.
Okay.
I want to talk about bowling. Bowling, hear me out. Underrated.
Really? Because I say overrated.
I love bowling.
I'm not a fan.
Bowling diners, S tier. Bowling the activity, only fun for like max 2 frames. Or like 2 games.
You got to be like good at bowling to enjoy bowling.
Yeah.
Or like deciding that like you're just gonna get good at bowling.
It's also gotta be more than like 3 people, because of how much you're cycling through. There's no
Sure.
The conversation.
Hurts my fingers. Always like 2 or 3 frames in, all of a sudden like just my fingers just start hurting.
Use a different ball, I think. Yeah.
I was gonna say you might need a bigger.
But I can never figure out what ball I'm supposed to be using. Like, am I supposed to be using a heavier ball? Am I supposed to be using a lighter ball?
Yeah.
What's the
It's
difference?
Just
What do they do?
ask the guy at the front, you know? Hey, by the way, you know, what size
I gotta
bowl?
rent shoes. That's ridiculous.
I will say
Those are fun.
Those I was gonna say I like those shoes.
Yeah.
I like the Velcro.
But, like, What a weird scam that we're still allowing in like 2022. It's like, yeah, you go bowling and like you rent the lane and everything like that, but they're also gonna make you rent shoes there. Like it's just gonna be a thing that's not included in the price of renting the lane. Is they're going to make you buy shoes?
So I go bouldering like once a month, and I also have to rent shoes when I go to do that activity. It's a whole hassle.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
There's an
Another
episode
man's shoes.
Allowing this.
I think there's an episode of Monk where he had to go bowling or something, and he didn't want to rent the shoes. It's like, yeah.
That's got to be like one of the first things you do is like a Monk writer is just write like down all the situations of just like he's OCD. Okay, so he goes bowling and he has to rent the shoes, and it's a nightmare. Like that's just like day one hashing out ideas.
That's the pilot. Oh, poor Tony Shalhoub.
It sounds like a Larry David bit, if I'm being real.
That does. There's got to be an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm where he goes bowling and complains about shoes.
Well, it's HBO related. I can say this. No, I shouldn't. Okay, I'll just no. Yeah, never mind.
Larry David.
Oh, I gotta tell you, Cristian, we're so far away from the HBO branding of this. We're just reviewing movies that are on HBO.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah. Hell yeah.
Larry David, the grandfather of the show, or the Godfather, both. He could be both.
Oh, right, yeah. The reason the show name came was because we were having a conversation about Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Or the father.
Incredible.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, and he's in the family, Or waiting on his episode, He's a busy man, so he's,
yeah, he'll get there eventually.
Yeah, him and Zack Snyder, I think, is who we bugged first about.
Has Larry David ever done a podcast?
We could be his first.
He does not strike me as one that would like be enthused about going on a podcast.
Because like I've never even like I can't remember seeing him on a late night show. I can't remember seeing him on like Howard Stern. Like, does he talk to anybody in like a media setting?
He hosted SNL once.
But that's like he's performing there, right? Like he's not showing up for like we're gonna sit around and you're gonna interview me or anything like that.
Right.
Let's see. David.
That's why I respect him. I can't think of a single interview with Larry David.
There's so much about Larry David to respect. Like the fact that like he's incredibly rich and he just like he dresses like
he
just
dresses
like
that.
dude. I like even to like fancy things you'll see Larry David and he's like never wearing a suit. He's wearing like a t-shirt and a sweater.
The New Balances always
New Balances.
Yeah, the trainers.
Like a really cheap pair of slacks. Mad respect to Larry David.
Shout out to Larry David. I did.
He gets his. I'm sorry.
Oh, go on.
He gets his Seinfeld residuals in Cole's cash.
Oh, dude. Game changer. Larry David was on Jimmy Kimmel Live in 2021 and the late show with James Corden. They were within a week of each other, so maybe he just did a week of shows and then he was done.
He had something to promote then, I guess. Maybe like Curb was coming back.
Yeah, I think so, because there's just a bunch of interviews from like that week of October 2021 and
so
then nothing
2021.
That's season 10.
Were we still in lockdown back then?
Oh, we were about to get hit with.
Were they still? Were those still the Skype shows of Jimmy Kimmel?
No, it looks like he's there hanging out.
Okay, I was gonna say it would be very Larry David the first time he goes on to a late night show is like, oh, I can do it from my office. Okay, fine.
That's why to do it. It's a good time. Larry David, come on the show. Thanks.
Yes.
But yeah, bowling is like, I'm going back to bowling real quick. Bowling.
What a tangent we got on.
That's the show, baby.
Wii bowling hype. That's a good.
Oh yeah.
That's a good.
Better
time.
than Switch Sports Bowling by a wide mile.
I still haven't played it. It sort of scares me. I just don't think anything could touch the OG Wii Sports. Like they tried, But it's just
Absolutely.
I just don't think there. Oh wait, I have mine.
He's got Wiimotes. He's got Wiimotes within like arm's reach.
I still play my Wii. What do you want from
Keep
me?
that thing on him.
Yeah.
The strap.
Oh yeah, I got the blue one. Brandon, where's your Wii remote within arm's length?
Oh yeah, no, nah.
Can't be based.
Nah, I had to bring mine home because I need to get new batteries. It's not working with my Guitar Hero controller right now because it's too low on batteries. I haven't played in like a month. I'm falling behind. I'm not up to scuff anymore. Plus, if we want to play Wii bowling.
I've thought about getting an emulator for my PC so that I could play Guitar Hero with the Wiimote,
Clone
whatever,
Hero.
and the guitar. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that's what I use. I've been using it since like 2017. It's good. It's really good. You can get any song.
I want those memories back.
I know, that's what I was like, I've only, because I ever, like when I was younger, I only played up to medium. And then in 2017, when I found out about Clone Hero, I'm like, this is it. This is my time.
Expert mode.
This is expert, yeah. I'm at the point where it's like, I could go harder, I could go expert. Ooh. Slow Ride, great chart. Great chart. I believe it's on Guitar Hero 3. Good chart.
That sounds right.
Highly recommend. It's Rock Band, dude. Let me tell you.
Foghat.
Foghat.
Yeah. The 7.5 minute song. It's great. I love Slow Ride. Rock Band's got a great set list. Guitar Hero 3. Those are the only two we had. So those are top tier set lists in my mind. But Guitar Hero, Clone Hero. Great game.
Great games.
I also Dazed and Confused. So
Speaking of Slow Ride.
Speaking of Slow Ride. It took me almost the entire movie to realize Pink's nickname is a play on Pink Floyd.
Yeah, Randall Pink Floyd.
Yeah, I didn't make the connection till the end, and then of course I freaked out. Got really excited. And I wanted to listen to The Wall. That's fine.
By the way, you guys ever been a Laser Floyd? You guys ever do that?
I have not.
It's incredible.
They came through once to like the planetarium here or whatever.
What?
And I thought about going to the Laser Floyd.
What is Laser Floyd?
You've never heard of Laser Floyd?
Yeah. Look up Laser Floyd. Yeah. So
Laser Floyd was like an early 2000s like staple joke on a sitcom. Was that somebody would bring up Laser Floyd?
Yeah, I mean they did it in that 70s show like as a joke. You know what I mean? That's where I learned about it. I was like, "What? This is a thing?" And then I live in a city with a planetarium, and they do monthly laser shows, and it's one Led Zeppelin album. I'm sorry, Pink Floyd album is always in rotation, and
so like they'll play through like a whole album just straight through, like not like you're not getting like the full catalog.
This is amazing.
That's interesting.
Oh my gosh. Not in Philly. I don't know.
I'll have to look into this. I'll have to go do a Laser Floyd.
I did Laser Depeche Mode. It's great as well.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
Wow. I don't know if I've ever, other than like a laser pointer, I don't know if I've ever seen a laser in real life. Like one of the cool lasers. Like,
really?
Yeah. They seem like fun. Never been laser tagging. Never.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I need to do that. That sounds like fun. It's... Yeah, I don't know. Lasers. Laser's an acronym, isn't it?
Yes. I think so. Like SCUBA.
SCUBA, self-contained underwater.
Shut the fuck up. Yeah?
You didn't know SCUBA is an acronym?
I'm sure I did at some point, but like, I don't think of it as such. That's crazy.
SCUBA.
What is it? Self-contained underwater breathing apparatus?
Mm-hmm.
Next, you're going to tell me UFO is an acronym. I'm joking.
You mean UFO? I've only read it.
I love acronyms that you can, like NASA or FIFA, the like UEFA.
Oh, fantastic!
You don't have to.
Oh, not UEFA.
I wasn't aware at the time. Oh, I heard someone say UEFA recently. I think it was. I don't remember when it was. Oh no, it was during the MLS.
I think Al Michaels said it on like Monday Night Football a couple months ago.
That makes me sad.
It's just we gotta tell him, it's UEFA.
Well, he also had a gaffe where he was like reading an ad read for Rings of Power, and he called the Orc Army the ORC Army. So he's an old guy. He's not nailing the ad reads these days.
That sounds more badass than Orc, though.
The ORC Army. That's
the
like
ORCs.
That's like a Russia thing.
Acronyms are just great. They can stand for anything, and it's it's a great time. I love an acronym. I have a question.
Okay.
So there's that bit where I think it was Wooderson lit a match from the sole of his boot. Can you do that? Can you, if you strike your boot hard enough, can you? Mm-hmm. That's so cool. That's awesome.
What movie is it? I think it's The Long Good Night. Elliot Gould, the noir movie. Like half of that movie is Elliot Gould walking around striking a match on different shit.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So like, can you just strike a match if you hit it hard? Like if there's enough friction?
Yeah, I think so. Like I've seen people like strike matches off some like nuts stuff. Like you can just like scrape it on the ground or whatever, and it'll. Strike.
Yeah.
That's sweet. Wow, science is wild.
Yeah. It's a cool trick to learn.
I don't think I've ever struck a match before. Now I'm thinking about it.
Oh,
I haven't seen.
We gotta find you matches like ASAP.
I need to play with matches.
It's fun.
Matches
are cool.
I have some in reach right now. I can light one. I won't do it.
I
like the smell.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sorry, go on. I'm thinking
another cool thing that I just a silly little thing that I thought was like really neat when I first watched this movie is Pink has this belt buckle that doubles as a pipe. And the week that I went off to college, I was in my dorm. I immediately went online and was like, "Where can I buy this?" Because I needed it, and I got it. It was incredible.
Oh, that's awesome! Love
it's just dope.
That's
so cool.
It's man, this
I love all the silk shirts in this movie. Like everybody's rocking a silk shirt.
Love a silk shirt. It's soft and silky. I think. I really want the purple silk shirt that Randy Floyd wears. Like it looks dope. I like the shirt that Kramer wears with the patterns and everything.
Yeah,
that's awesome. He also that actor, his name is escaping me. He also apparently couldn't play. He said he knew how to play baseball and pitch to get cast, but he didn't. So they had to use a double during the baseball scenes.
So when he was filming that scene, he kept failing because he could not. So they were just doing the wind up, like whatever. Just don't worry about the throw. Just get the wind up. And there was a team of little league players watching him do this that were ending up just like making fun of him because he could not do a proper wind up. Poor dude.
He was about to get paddled, It's
Linklater's a big baseball guy too. So like I that mattered to Linklater. Because like there is basically a Linklater movie that I feel like is like a spiritual sequel to Dazed and Confused called Everybody Wants Some.
Oh yeah, I read about that.
Which is about a college baseball team in like
Yes.
the late 70s. That's a fun movie too. It's not nearly as good as this one, but yeah, it's a lot of just like baseball vibes.
So, hazing. I have never been hazed before. I know it's a thing I've heard with sororities and fraternities, but I've never heard of it in terms of high school. Well, that's actually a lie. I've heard it in terms of sports teams. Like my high school had an incident with hazing back in like 2013, and there was the school around here got their whole football season canceled because of it. But like I've never heard of it. Seniors hazing freshmen. Is that a thing, or like or was it a bigger thing in the 70s?
I think it was a thing.
Interesting.
Like even like this is Criterion editions normally aren't this fucking big. This one has like 4 essays in it. So I read all of them last night, and like one of the things people talk about is there's like specific things in this that aren't like totally accurate to the 70s and like what happened, but they're very like they feel like the 70s. And I guess like hazing and stuff was essentially by like 76 when this movie takes place, really starting to get phased out. And like they sort of talk about it in the movie about like when Randy's giving Mitch a ride home after the baseball game, where he's like, it used to be a thing where like, you know, they would beat the shit out of you, but then they would go take you out and get drunk, and it was like a fun, like there was like, you know, like more like introducing you to high school stuff. And now like when the movie's taking place, all the seniors are just assholes to the freshmen, and it's like missing like the fraternity part of it and stuff. And so I feel like part of what this movie's doing is showing like hazing like going away.
Interesting. Yeah. I just hazing seems wild to me. I don't know. That
Yeah, no, that would not fly.
no.
Today.
Yeah. I mean, even just like when I was I was a freshman like 15 years ago now, I was a freshman in high school. Would not have been a thing people were doing back then.
In the documentary, Linklater was talking about there's this in the scene where they're all paddling Mitch and Slobo, set to, you know, Mr. Nice Guy. The way he shot that scene ended up being like after the fact, where he felt like Mitch was himself trying to make Dazed and Confused, and the paddles were people like in production and the studio heads that were like interfering with his movie, trying to make it worse.
Aww. Well, I was reading about the custom paddles or and whatnot, and one of them I guess is 17 years on it, which is the time between 76 and 93, I think. Math.
Interesting.
Just fun Easter egg. And a few of the paddles are still up at the Top Notch burger place. It's still open. Well, it closed in 2008 and reopened in 2009 under new management. They have the original paddles and everything, which is pretty cool. So, you know, HBO Max field trip. Add it to the list.
Yo.
So we go to the Armageddon.
Yeah, add it to the list.
The Armageddon ride.
Oh yeah, we're already going to be in Texas. We're going to NASA eventually.
We're going to, yeah, of course. When we go in our 24 hours that Bruce Willis got us before we go to space, we're gonna go to Top Notch Burger and check out the paddles. Mm-hmm. It's a whole HBO Max trip. Cristian, would you like to come along for our team bonding trip to NASA?
Let's do it. Also, if you're in Austin, you could go watch an Austin FC game and maybe meet Matthew McConaughey and talk about Dazed and Confused.
God.
It's full circle.
It's the soccer is round.
Yeah,
it all comes back. Maybe he wants to go to space with us. Our team.
He did for another
I bet
movie.
He does.
So
I bet I bet if you like, hey Matthew McConaughey, we're going to space. Do you want to come? He would be like, fuck yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so our current roster right now, so I can make the field trip list. So it's the three of us, Matt Batson, and Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah. And Tony of Tony Salad fame.
Oh, Tony would love to go. I was just hold on, wait. I don't really have a Tony Salad update, but I did talk to him about it last week. Hold on, let me find it. He sounded thrilled that the Tony Salad has taken the world by storm. I told him.
Cristian, are you familiar with the Tony Salad?
No, I'm trying to keep up.
Makenna, explain the Tony Salad.
Okay.
What are the elements of a Tony Salad?
The Tony Salad: lettuce, cheese, croutons, ham cubes, ranch. That's the Tony Salad.
And that's it.
This is the salad that her friend Tony gets at a buffet, and he calls it Tony Salad.
It was a Tony Salad. I usually get it. I hold the lettuce. Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, we're gonna get a sponsorship. This buffet. I emailed them like 2 months ago. They haven't responded yet. And we're gonna go to the Haas's. The buffet chain is called Haas's. And we're gonna get Tony Salads and record episodes of HBO Max. You are more than welcome to join us.
I love buffets. Like I know hometown buffets suck, but I have such an affinity for hometown buffet.
Love hometown buffet. There's never anyone there. It's a great time.
It's because like you show up knowing that the quality of the food isn't going to be great, but you're going to get a lot of.
Who cares?
That's the
mashed potatoes.
Yes.
And you're going down the line, and it's just whatever you want. You're seeing it there. You're grabbing big old spoonfuls of stuff.
Ham cubes.
Yeah. Thank you.
I found it. So I told him, we were talking about hanging out over Christmas break. And I was like, I gotta tell you how the Tony Salad is sweeping the nation. And he said, oh no. And I said, it's a hell of a time. I can tell you. And he goes, I bet it is. Where are my royalties? And I told him once we get the Haas's sponsorship, the dough will roll in. And he said,
we're not
perfect.
Licensing anything here. We're not selling Tony Salad on this podcast.
Not yet. Give us a few years. We can turn into.
Next thing you know, like you know when you go into the grocery store and they have those like pre-made like salad bags or whatever with like the Caesar salad and the things. There's gonna be a bag of Tony Salad.
Tony Salad. It's delightful. I gotta try to find. Oh wait, it's never mind. Hold on, Cristian, I'll send you a picture of the Tony Salad. But yeah, it's.
Oh wait, okay, like of it, like prepared in a bowl.
Yes, prepared. Well, it's on a plate, but yes. We don't have bowls at this buffet.
Yeah.
We're not a fancy buffet.
No. I put salads in bowls. I'm a bowl salad eater.
Salad bowls are good because you're not flinging shit everywhere. Because I'm a messy eater.
Love a salad bowl.
Love a salad.
Salad bowls also really good for soup.
Yes.
Like if you got a big hearty soup,
I believe it.
Get all kinds of stuff.
So I ate soup. So I had a disaster of a time trying to make soup a few weeks ago.
Yes. Oh no, yes you did.
I texted Brandon with this. I was so sad. I was sick. I was trying to make damn soup in the microwave and it kept overflowing. I couldn't get it. But I got like
the thing about this is that you need to understand because she sent me a picture and I immediately knew what went wrong. But she put the soup in a mug.
In a mug. You don't have time or space, I guess, for like. Explain the mug.
I'll send you that
Explain
picture.
the mug.
Well,
the thought process behind like.
So I was like, okay, well, okay, so it's. I don't really know because I have bowls that are microwavable.
That's fair. That's valid.
But I was like, you know what? Because that's right. Because I wanted to just drink it. I didn't want to have to use a spoon. I just wanted to drink the broth.
I will say this. I have had soup out of a mug before, but like a big one, like one of those like big old mugs. Mm-hmm. Like they make like big mugs for soup or whatever. But you heat it on the stove and then you pour it into the mug. You don't put the soup in the mug and put it in the microwave. That's just like
that was
heinous.
Uh-oh.
Like my I'm imagining you drinking soup as if it were tea or coffee or any sort of like hot beverage, but like I know a soup is liquid based, but I imagine that as like a solid food eating ordeal.
Like you're in the break room at work and like everybody's sitting around drinking coffee and one person's just got a mug of soup.
That's what I was gonna do. That's legit what I was gonna do. I was gonna do some homework and I was gonna drink soup from my mug.
Yeah.
And it
Cup of tomato bisque.
Oh, so good. The reason for me bringing this up, I ate soup with a regular sized, like a tablespoon.
Okay.
Not great. I didn't have a soup spoon on me. You can't get as much because I ended up having to use a spoon anyway. Because
depends on what kind of soup you're doing, right? Because if the soup's got stuff in it, that's a nightmare. If you're doing just a tomato soup or whatever, nice little tablespoon, that's fine.
Yeah, but well,
I'm so hungry for soup.
Oh, it's soup season, baby.
Yeah, it is. I did a 24-hour chicken. What is it? Chicken soup, right? Chicken noodle.
Ooh.
Oh,
yeah. Like just like having that thing on there for like almost 24 hours. It was a little bit under. Probably the best soup I ever made in my goddamn life.
Oh yeah.
My
love an egg
that
noodle.
broth. Oh yeah.
My aunt makes chicken corn, which is it's a game changer.
I tried split pea for the first time during COVID, and that changed my life. I was like, wow, I should have been having this years ago. So good.
I've never had it. I'll have to give it a shot. I'm a big potato soup guy. I like a hearty soup with like chunks of stuff in it.
Yeah. I just had tomato soup for the first time on Friday. That was good. Grilled cheese, a trip.
That changed your life?
It changed my life.
Yeah.
It was delicious. Because usually how I eat, I only eat one thing at a time. I don't know. I don't like cross. But I was like, I want to try this soup before I eat the grilled cheese. I damn near ate half the bowl before I was like, shit, I need to save some for my grilled cheese. I'm about to eat this whole soup whole. At the thing, it was good. It was delicious. It was a nice color.
Yes.
Tomato soup.
I used to be very anti-tomato soup.
That's how I was.
This was when I was younger. I was very limited in what I would eat and stuff. As an adult, expanded the palate quite a bit. Now tomato soup, all about it.
I guarantee you, split pea soup will do the same thing for you. Promise you.
I'm excited. So you're like home making the split pea soup? Or are you like, is there
no?
Like
I went
canned
so
version that you can buy?
I go to a soccer bar. It's an English bar, and they had split pea soup there. So get it made for you. Let someone else make it for you.
I'll track it down.
Yeah, I will as well. I will. We'll have to reconvene for a split pea soup review.
Yeah.
Split pea soup review.
Split Tony salad and split pea soup.
Speaking of Cristian, I sent you both a picture of my soup incident and the Tony salad. I DM'd you on Twitter.
Yes, thank you.
So,
incident. Yeah.
Mac, one thing I'm interested in hearing about, because this is what I thought of when I was watching. It's quite a. I'm gonna have to post these on Twitter from the HBO Max account so people have reference.
I just didn't expect for the cubed ham to be like on the side as like an accoutrement and not like part of the salad.
Well, see so that's my plate. Tony's plate, a la Tony salad. In the back, he has it on top of it.
The classic.
The classic. I split mine up a little bit. For me, it's just a side dish.
It's fair.
But you're saying you don't put lettuce in your Tony salad.
For this one, I did because I was feeling healthy that day. But usually, I don't.
Okay, wait, no, because we're gonna dig a layer deeper into the Tony salad than we have gone before. So, because I knew that you didn't do lettuce. When you get the Tony salad, no lettuce, are you also keeping the ham on the side?
Yes.
So, what you're getting is a plate of croutons, cheese, and ranch with cubes of ham on the side.
Yes, you're correct.
I just assumed you would opt for like a spinach or a kale. You're just doing sans lettuce.
Makenna, you have said some wild things to me in our friendship over the last couple years. This is the most unhinged thing you've ever done. Is get a plate of croutons, cheese, and ranch dressing.
You're absolutely correct. I wish I had a picture.
Oh my God, dude. My stomach hurts.
I can look, guys.
Makenna, you're in your 20s. You're gonna have to cut that shit out in a couple of years. Your body will not be able to do that.
Once you graduate, it's donezo.
I gotta jam in as many Tony salad, no lettuce sounds as I can. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna look back on my photo album and see if I have any pictures of when was this? Of any no lettuce Tony salads. Because we went right before the pandemic. Oh, no, that's ice cream from Haas. Oh, there's a baked potato though. It's
What
It's
percentage of the buffet, Makenna, that you're getting is just starch?
good junk. Good chunk of his starch.
The first thing I do when I arrive at a buffet, first of all, I just love holding those hot plates.
Ooh.
I get mashed potatoes to dip my French fries in. Like, I'm doubling up on the potatoes.
You're dipping your potatoes in potatoes.
Yeah, extra carbs.
The plates.
It's an experience.
I wonder if that sounds good.
I'll say that one of the very small kitchen luxuries that you do for yourself, one of the things that you should step up your game if you're making a nice dinner, is just take your oven, set it on the lowest setting that it can go, and stick the plates in there for just like a minute or two. Just warm up your plates. Such a nice little luxury for yourself.
A warm plate is a game changer. Cause like Olive Garden, you go to Olive Garden and you get their salad plates. They're freezing cold, which like helps with the salad. But like I enjoy a warm plate just with my hands, like not on the plate.
It's cozy.
Yeah, it is. It's like a hug for your hands. I enjoy it
For the soul.
exactly.
Some would say.
And like the servers are always like, yeah, "Be careful, it's warm." It's like it's okay.
Oh, please.
I will burn my hands. It's okay.
Can you make it warmer?
Yeah.
Yes.
But by the way, do you have a mug for the soup? Please?
Yes. I like my depth. I like depth in my soup. It's so the picture that I sent you, this is the second time that it happened.
Oh, the microwave incident.
The microwave incident, yes. This is the second time that it had happened, and that the soup that is in that mug
boiled over. And you were just
you still got 3 minutes left on that thing, by the way.
No, I was about to turn it off.
It boiled over. You pulled it out. You're like, oh no, this is a mess. This is terrible. Cleaned it up, and then you were like, let's run it back.
I didn't feel it as high.
Do you know what the definition of insanity is? Okay.
Soup. But it's I was this was what day of the week was this? I don't even know. But I was sick. I had a cold. I was down and out for the count. I think it was the worst day of my cold a couple weeks ago. And I almost burst into tears in that kitchen multiple times. Like my roommate wasn't home, so I was comfortable just like milling about the kitchen and everything. And I almost broke down in the middle of that kitchen. Like, I just want some soup. I'm like,
you had messaged me a few days ago before this and was like, "Hey, what's the best way to reheat soup?" And I was like,
"Okay, so this was
pot. Put it on the stove, turn it on, just let it sit there for a couple minutes. Boom, you got soup."
This was different soup. This was soup in a Campbell's soup can that I was making for dinner. And I had enough. This was I bought 2 clam chowders from the CVS, and I made one for dinner, because I was working through dinner, so I didn't have time to go out. It was dark, so I just heated up soup on the stove, and then when I got sick, I wasn't in the mood for a cream-based soup. I was like, this isn't gonna. So I'm gonna heat up this expired chicken noodle soup.
Expired.
This story keeps getting worse.
Did you know it was expired before you started the preparation?
I just didn't eat the chicken. I didn't eat the weird cubes of chicken in it. I ate the noodles and the broth, and I tried to avoid the chicken. And it was the soup where you would pour it into a vessel and then put
a mug. It recommends a mug.
recommends a mug and pour hot water over it. But I didn't want to do that. I wanted to just get in the microwave and get it done with. But the thing is, so there's 2 packets in this in a box. And in total, it makes 4 cups. So I had to try to have the packet without pouring, because I didn't want the whole soup. I had already eaten dinner that night. I just needed something for my throat. I just wanted the broth.
Yeah, tea's an option.
You got a good point there.
You could also, buy chicken stock and just have chicken stock.
Sure.
It's a pantry staple.
I could have done a lot of different things than what I did. I could have.
You chose possibly the worst option.
The worst one.
I was so nervous that my roommate was gonna come back home and just be on the floor trying to figure out how to make freaking soup in the microwave.
Okay, didn't your roommate melt something trying to cook an egg?
She melted, which is, I think, arguably worse than my soup incident, because I know not to put plastic on the stove. She melted a Tupperware top while making an egg, because she read somewhere that it makes eggs
She went
better
to try to
cover.
Yeah, she went to steam the egg over top it.
But we have glass covers container for the pots and pans that she bought.
Sometimes you don't want to use them.
That's fair. That's fair.
So she just ruined a frying pan.
She ruined a frying pan and
a
plastic lid for a Tupperware container. Don't know how the egg came out. I didn't ask her about that, but cooking's hard, okay? Cooking soup in the microwave is hard. I didn't know it was gonna boil. Okay, wait, I've got a question. It's
Let's far off the rails on this episode.
The instant mac and cheeses that you put in the microwave for 3 minutes,
I've heard of them. Yeah.
Easy. Yes.
Okay.
Why do they always overflow?
I've never had one overflow.
I don't know. I don't own a microwave.
Well, let me tell you what. Every single Easy Mac I've had have always ever since I started eating them when I was in middle school. They've always overflowed, and
You're filling it to the line, right?
Yeah, and they always
Are you buying name brand?
Like
Easy
Kraft?
Mac or?
Yeah, Kraft.
Kraft, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you not? Are you supposed to put a cover on it?
I do put a cover
while
on
it's
it.
still in there? No.
No, not supposed to put a cover on it.
Not for Mac.
Not for the Easy Mac, no.
Maybe that's why.
Because I've always said the Easy Mac is a piece of engineering brilliance. Because when you put it in there and you fill it up to the line, it boils right at the line and never goes over. I've never had one overflow.
Well, let me.
Fucking up your Easy Mac.
Next time I make Easy Mac, I will make sure to send a picture of the microwave and how many sopping paper towels I have from cleaning up the gross gunky water that overflows. I don't know.
Should get a ShamWow for Christmas. Less wasteful.
Man, it was. And let me tell you what. Whenever that soup overflowed, it was burning hot liquid. I was burning my hand trying to clean it up because I wanted to freaking put the mug back in the microwave. And then it got under. I had to take out the glass plate because it got underneath because it overflowed. Yeah. So there was so much liquid. I had to clean the glass plate. I had to clean the cover because there was just broth everywhere. And all I was left was with noodles and expired chicken.
This feels like a villain origin story.
There was broth everywhere.
I figured out how to make pasta okay. I only ever had it boil over once, and that was because I wasn't paying attention. I can make peanut butter sandwiches. And apparently that's it. That's all I've got in my arsenal of cooking.
I'll give you something insane as well. Might as well.
Ooh, yes.
When I was in middle school, I heard about these things called ice cream sandwiches. I'd never seen one before, and I obviously never had one. So I was like, but everyone talks about them, so surely they must be good.
Right.
So I went to the kitchen, and I got two slices of bread out, two whole pieces of bread out, got out the ice cream, and made myself a sandwich. And my dad was like, "What are you doing? What are you making?" And I'm like, "An ice cream sandwich." And he's like, "Whatever, like sure, okay." And I was eating this like, this is like not good at all. This is why are people eating this? I spent years not knowing why until I like eventually tried a proper ice cream sandwich. Like, oh, this is what they are? Oh, these are good.
Oh my god. Bread.
Good God.
We live and we learn.
We do.
Yes.
Cooking is hard.
Yes, we do.
It is.
Gotta keep living.
That's incredible.
Livin.
Livin. Speaking of, Cristian, do you have any last thoughts on this movie? Or
do I? Let's see. I love this movie, despite like its obvious problematic nature. And I think for me is like when I'm looking at it through a critical lens, it's for me, I think it's less beneficial to dismiss it altogether, and it's more beneficial for me to interrogate it as like, man, isn't it how shitty we used to view masculinity and the way we treated just like each other and like all the excess? But at the same time, it's like this is also a time capsule of a way people used to think and live, and appreciating zeitgeist for what it is sometimes is enough for me to like, man, sometimes the style and existing can be cool on its own. And this is just a movie all about vibes from start to finish. And I absolutely love it to death. It's a reason who I am today, watching Dazed and Confused. I love it.
I think the movie is a lot more critical of the like the stuff that we would say doesn't age well. Like I think you're intended to like watch those things and be like, oh yeah, that's not cool. Like there's actually like if you watch the deleted scenes on this movie, like they cut out more stuff where you were supposed to like not like characters more. And they like decided that it just like went too far in the realm of like, you know, making some of the characters like really despicable. But yeah, no, this movie's rips, man. Like,
yep.
This movie is like endlessly rewatchable because it's just like the plot doesn't matter. Like you're not watching it to like have like a story told you. You're watching it to just like a day in the life of like in the 70s, and all these people are saying cool things, and it's just like it's funny, but like not in a way where like there are actually jokes in the movie. It's just the characters are saying some very stupid stuff that just like get you every time.
Yeah, I loved it. It was just so fun. Like I don't know. It was like, ooh, what's gonna happen? It's the last day of school. What zany things are gonna happen this summer? You know, there's something in my. I had a very enjoyable time with this. It's yeah.
It's also like a really good window into like what Austin, Texas used to be. Because it's weird how old that place looked in 1993. And like especially when like you think about what it is now, it's like that place changed a lot very, very quickly. Like it still looked like the 70s in the 90s. Like very little had changed in Austin. And yeah, it's crazy how much like this movie influenced that part of Texas going forward, because Texas, like Austin was just like this weird town where like guys like Daniel Johnston hung out and stuff, and weird art came out of there, and weird movies like Slacker. And then like now it's like Rooster Teeth is there, and they probably wouldn't be there if it wasn't for Dazed and Confused.
Yeah.
Weird.
It's also maybe the new like tech hub where like Silicon Valley companies are like thinking about going to tech Austin. Just nutty to think about.
It's crazy. It's insane. But yes, go watch Dazed and Confused. And just have fun, It's a blast.
Shout out Martha Washington.
Shout out Martha Washington.
Who feels of that shit, man?
You have a big fat bowl waiting for her, man.
It's brilliant. Cristian, where can people find you on the internet?
Yes. If you are in the Portland metropolitan area, then you can find me on Tinder, swipe right. Otherwise, you can follow me at twitter.com at isoCristian. No H.
Whoa. Brandon, where can people find you on?
Before I get my plug, I just thought of another joke from this movie that I really, really like.
Oh, yeah.
When they're climbing up the moon tower, and he's like,
yes, that's my favorite scene.
They're talking about the kid who died. He's like, the autopsy said he only had one beer. How many have you had? 4.
You're dead, man.
You're dead, Junior.
Yeah. Look at the blood right there.
It's they get to the top, and he's like, how many people you think are fucking right now? Just going at it. You can find me on Twitter while that's still a thing at Jose Ruckus. Instagram, I just made an account on Hive, if that's the new hotness. So at Jose Ruckus on Hive. There you go.
I haven't tweeted since the day we thought Twitter was going down. So my last tweet is just me adding Jenna Ortega saying, "What are your thoughts on Twilight?"
I texted Brandon in a frenzy that night because I was coming home from school, so I wasn't checking Twitter. And I opened Twitter, and everyone's like, "You can find me on these other places, the RIP Twitter." And I texted Brandon, like, "What's happening with Twitter right now? Like, is it all like I didn't save anything yet? Like, I didn't go through anything. I thought that was it." But we're still here. We're still kicking. You can find me on there at PotterPants212. Link in my bio for other places if you want. You can follow me. World Cup coverage. State of Soccer TV. I'm producing things over there. You won't see me, but I'll be clicking buttons. Hopefully. And you can follow this show on Twitter at HBO Max, HBO Maks, and on youtube.com/@symbol HBO Max, HBO Maks, and all your favorite streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and the other ones.
Probably,
yeah.
I honestly don't know if we're on anything besides those two, but we probably are.
Maybe. Let us know. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. Brandon, what should people comment this week?
Just, all right.
There you go. Thank you. And with that, and
comment if you're buying Criterion Blu-rays on the 50% off sale. Let us know what you're buying.
Yeah.
Let us know. Woo! With that, OTSS. Only the strong survive. Thank you.